The office door opens, causing him a little surprise, typical of someone absorbed in his reading and thoughts. An incoming employee announces. The men brought company. Thinking he knew what it was about, leaving the picker tricks aside, the man commands. Let them in. The employee gives a slight respectful nod and leaves to make way for the other men who soon enter the office. There were 3 large men in suits and hats, accompanied by a 4th, hooded, who would soon have this hood removed, revealing a furious face. Everest? Abeleen yells in surprise when she sees the man with the tattooed teardrop. Miss Grant. I'm so. Untie the lady, idiots. The men who look at each other, confused, do as ordered, and Everest approaches her, with a disconcerted face of someone who doesn't believe what he's seeing. That wasn't funny at all, Everest, shouted Abeleen. Believe me when I say this was not ordered by me. But, despite being absolutely horrified by the treatment you received, it was really of my command they accompany you to a meeting with me. Unfortunately, the concept of discreet is not shared by my subordinates, he says, glancing at the men. I beg you to forgive this confusion. They still don't understand the difference between wherever they find her and however they can. One of the men runs ahead. Miss Grant. We would never hurt you. Another readily comments. Isn't she the disappearing girl? We were afraid that there wouldn't be time. It was bitter to see that the intellect succumbs to brute force. Thinks Abeleen to herself. I said it wasn't a good idea to use the bag. But you're the one who arranged the bag, said the other one. Just shut up, said Everest. Abeleen, who has just freed himself from her bonds, speaks in an aggressive voice. What do you want? It's better to take a few breaths, to calm yourself down. I don't want this excited state to incline you in making ill-considered decisions or abrupt attitudes, Everest said. Abeleen inhales intensively, closing her eyes, following the upward movement of her lungs, and releases the air she has been carrying with her in her frustration. She then repeats, in a noticeably more relaxed voice, in a lower tone, with a deliberately hypocritical smile. What do you want, sir? I don't think you've forgotten our business really. Would you like a glass of water? As I recall it, you rejected the reward I've offered you, and for an unsolicited favor, Mr. Everest. You've offered me money, Miss Grant. Money? This isn't even remotely helpful to me. I did you a favor, I just need you to do me one in return. Look Everest, I don't have time for this. Your men grabbed me like a piece of meat while I was in the middle of a commitment to help an acquaintance. He doesn't know the streets, he must be lost, worried. I have to go back now. I understand you're worried, but this is something quite simple to resolve. He turns to his men, with a sudden face of seriousness, saying, you'll have an opportunity to make up for your inefficiency. Kind of. Then he turns to Abeleen again, with a gentle smile. How is this friend of yours? Abeleen hesitates for a moment, saying, acquaintance. I think we know him already. Starts excitedly one of the men. He's not the guy she was with at the time we were passing by. What do you think you're saying? Everest interrupted him, looking a little irritated. Shut up, and let her describe him. See? Always so eager to please. They end up talking more than they really know and doing more than they should. The men cast an intimidated look at each other. Everest then continued, turning to Abeleen. Make a detailed description of him, and my men will seek him out to guide him. So this is it? Are you really keeping me as a prisoner? Taking me as a hostage? Miss Grant, those words are too heavy. As I've said, my men will take care of it. Just like how they took care of me. Don't hold a grudge against this unfortunate misunderstanding. It was my fault I wasn't as precise with my words as I should have been. Communication is such a delicate art. I'm leaving, Everest, says Abeleen, already in the middle of the turn of her body, hurrying to reach the door, making Everest raise his voice. I found it. His firm tone makes Abeleen's hand paralyze on the golden doorknob.